In today's session, I would like to tell you how to run the Docker image in AWS ECS. Yeah, you may ask one question, sir. We have already seen this in my previous video, but what is so special in this? Yes, there is something special. I mean, I definitely our ultimate goal is to run the Docker image in AWS ECS only. Uh, Using AWS Fargate cluster and all that stuff, that's fine. But we tried to pull the Docker image from Docker Hub in my previous video, but in today's videos, because what is wrong in this Docker Hub, because Docker Hub is a kind of public repository where anyone can pull and anyone can run that image. Instead of using this Docker Hub repository, why can't we use AWS service? Yes, do we have any service something like that? Do we have any service something like that, where we can where exactly that service can be acting as a kind of repository to store the Docker images instead of Docker Hub? Yes, we have. What is that? AWS ECR. So see, if you observe this particular image, everything is same. We have a Spring Boot application, we Dockerize that, and once we Dockerize that, we are trying to push the Docker image not into a Docker Hub. I am just trying to push this Docker image into Amazon ECR. That's the service where we can, it is just acting as, it stands for Elastic Container Registry, where we can store multiple Docker images. It's just acting as something like in a repository. And once we store that particular Docker image in the AWS ECR, we can pull this image from AWS ECR. And after that, we just by creating the AWS Fargate cluster, we can run the image. That is what exactly our today's agenda. Of course, definitely we have some different steps we have to follow to work with this, or to store or to push the Docker image into Amazon ECR. So that I wanted to show you practically. So let's start to discuss both one by one. So first we'll be ready with the Spring Boot application. We'll Dockerize this, and then one by one we have. First let me open my Eclipse. This is my previous application. Here we have Docker file and everything is there. And now let me click on this and just open the command prompt to create the Docker image. First I'm just checking no images are there. Now what we have to do is to build the Docker image. First we have to go to this particular project. Okay, so it is available in the E drive, CD learnings, CD AWS, CD Spring Boot, ECS, Fargate, CLS. Here the Docker file is available. Now happily we can pass the command to build the Docker image. Docker build -t stands for this -t, and the followed by image name is Spring Boot ECS Fargate, and then dot represents what? It's a current working directory, right? That is just trying to building the image. Since I'm not giving any tag name, it will be taking as the latest only. It's not a problem. Docker images, yeah, we have, this is the image name and this is the tag name. Since we didn't give anything, it is just taking this. Okay, all right. So once we gave this, so once this step is over, once we ready with the Docker image, what we have to do is simply we supposed to log in into our AWS account. So just we'll try to log in into this AWS account, and there we need access key and security access key. To do this, here you see this is the profile name and this is the regions drop down. In the profile name, just click on this and go to the security credentials. You observe here, see, this is the security credentials. You please click on the security credentials, and here go to the access key part. We have 9 hours ago, 49 minutes ago we have created, but still after some time, okay, do we have, okay, fine, let me actions delete. I'll try to delete the existing access keys so that I can create deactivate. Access key is deactivated, and this one is also, I'm just trying to deactivate. Okay, let me try to delete. Okay, so to delete this access key, we have to give the same access key, deleted, and this one also I am going to delete. So to delete this, because since I am using free tier account, it is allowing I guess 2 times only, that is why I am getting. So I just wanted to like what show you from the scratch. So I'll just click on the create access key, click on this checkbox and create access key. Once we get this, we'll get the access key and then secret access key. If you follow really my previous videos, I showed you in a different way while I am configuring or deploying the elastic I mean my Spring Boot application into EBS elastic beanstalk. That time I showed you like in a different way. So program, I mean we have created the user roles. That is also a different approach to get the access key and then secret access key. This is the kind of shorthand approach. Okay, finally we got the access key and then secret access key. Those access key, since I copied, I'm just pasting here. Secret access key, these are my previous stuff. So simply I removed that and then I'm just taking my updated secret access key and I'm just keeping here. Okay, once it is done, okay, so far 2 steps we have completed. First we prepared the Docker image for my Spring Boot application and I gave the name, and the name of the image is this, something like this. And once it is done, what exactly I did is something like go to the AWS account console, and there I'll go to here security credentials, and there I have created the access key so that you will get the access key and then secret access key. So 2 steps are over. So now next what we have to do is we need a AWS CLI. Okay, this you have to like what install. Oh my god, 1 second, 1 second please, 1 second. ఎందుకు కట్టేస్తున్నారా ఏం చేయాలి? Yeah, just wait, my internet is not getting connected. Yeah, it gets connected. AWS account. Yeah, let me click on this, sign into the console. And here what so we need we need AWS CLI software we require. This is, I mean, based on your operating system, you have to choose your operating system and accordingly you have to download this. See here, I have already downloaded and then installed. Okay, so once you install, I mean, you please download according to your operating system and try to like what install. That's not a I mean, that's not an issue, actually you can easily install. And once you install, to confirm whether it is really gets installed or not in your machine, you have to pass this command. What is that command? Tell me. AWS -- version. So see here, AWS CLI 2.13.3. So this is getting installed. So just by giving getting this kind of information, so that we can understand, yes, the CLI got successfully installed in my machine. So once it's done, so we supposed to like what configure, I mean we supposed to like what, I mean we supposed to connect with this AWS account, whatever the account I have right now. I supposed to like what connect with this particular account from my CLI itself. If that is your requirement, what we have to do is we have to pass AWS configure. So when I give this, it is just asking access key ID, which we have already copied here. Okay, let me copy this, come back to here. Okay, and then it is again asking secret access key. So let me copy this. Oh my god, let me copy here and come to here and then enter. So default region name, if you observe my if you open any services, okay, for example, I open this API gateway. If you observe here, control one, so here this is my default region. So what is the default region, tell me? So mine is US-East-1. The same thing you have to pass here, US-East-1. Okay, so JSON is my default format, just give that. So then now my CLI got connected to AWS itself with this particular account. Okay, so I hope you guys are following a step-by-step approach. Okay, so once we configure, okay, so now we have to like what, create the ECR repository. If you observe this particular image, okay, we dockerize the application and we install the AWS CLI software, and what exactly we did, we connected to AWS account from the AWS CLI. Now we need ECR, we need repository. That repository, in that particular repository, I'll try to like what, push my Docker image, so that we have to like what, create the ECR repository. So in the search, in the services tab, if you type ECR, Elastic Container Registry, let me open this. Okay, so already we have some existing ECRs are there. That's not a problem, but simply let me click on the create repository, make it private or public, it's whatever it means. So I am just keeping like a private only. Here Java Jungle demo I am giving is my channel name, followed by -demo. So just click on the create repository. Okay, so that once the repository is created, just copy that particular repository URL. Okay, I am just placing here. Okay, so yeah, so once it's done, we have to see right now. If you observe this particular what we call this particular ECR repository, do we have any images right now? No, right? So we supposed to like what, push this particular Docker image into this particular ECR repository. That is our biggest task. So to do that also, we have to like what, follow one command. What is that command? You just follow this particular command. Yeah, this is the command you have to follow. All right, so this is the command you have to like what, follow. What is that command, tell me? So first, before you are pushing, we have to tag this particular existing Docker image to the ECR URL itself. ECR, to that particular repository, we have to tag that. So how to tag that, I will show you here. Just give docker space tag, and first of all, what are the images we have? Okay, docker tag spring boot, okay, ECS Fargate colon latest is the tag name, and followed by that particular image name. Right now, yeah, this one, right? Okay, let me copy this, but not fully, up to aws.com. If you copy, that is more than enough. Let me copy this, come to here, that's it. AWS docker tag, once we tag this, so that we can push it, I guess. Okay, that is what I what is my knowledge. Okay, one second. Before we tag this, we supposed to like what, connect to this ECR. Okay, sorry. Okay, anyhow, it's fine. I'm just rolling back my words. Before you are tagging, you try to like what, connect, because we have already connected to like what, AWS account. Okay, by giving the access key and then secret access key. But before you are tagging, what you need to do is try to like what, log in. We have to log in into this AWS ECR via CLI itself. Okay, using this particular command. What is that command? You have to like what, give this command. This is very, very important. I forgot. Okay, AWS ECR get -login-password. You please, okay, -region US-East-1 is my default region name. Single pipe symbol, docker, okay, followed by login, hyphen username AWS in capitals hyphen password, okay, hyphen stdin followed by this particular whatever you copied now. So this one. So let me copy this up to here. So just paste it. So once you enter, so we'll get the message saying something like, login succeeded. Once we get that message, so that means from my CLI I try to log in into like what, to this particular ECR itself. So once we do this, we have to like what, pass this command itself. Okay, we have to tag the existing Docker image to this particular ECR, because we have already logged in into ECR from the CLA. So once you logged into this AWS ECR, then only we can tag. So once we tagged, my next step is we have to push. We have to like what, push this particular ECR URL. So right now in this, if you refresh, any images are there so far in this particular ECR repository? No images, right? When we get that, when you push that docker push, okay, 1 second. Think did we miss anything? We didn't miss anything, right? Okay. So docker tag. Okay, while we are tagging, what is the command we are using? 1 second. While we are tagging, docker tag spring boot ECS Fargate latest. Okay, followed by, okay, this repository name also you have to give, that I forgot. Let me copy this. Okay, so control V, Java Jungle hyphen demo. While we are tagging the existing Docker image to this particular ECR URL, after AWS Amazon aws.com, you have to like what, give the ECR repository name also. What is my repository name? Java Jungle hyphen demo itself. Then that's it. So once it's done, we have to like what, push that. So how to push that? We have to like what, give this command. What is that command? It's very simple. Docker push and the ECR URL. What is that ECR URL? Tell me this entire stuff. Let me copy this. Okay, paste it. That's it. See here, using default tag latest, the push refers to repository. Yeah, it is just started to like what, pushing the existing Docker image into that particular ECR itself, ECR repository. So far we don't have any images. Once it's done, I'll refresh that, and then you'll get a chance to like what, see the same image in the ECR itself. So if that is the case, so up to here these three steps are over. I mean, we have created the Spring Boot application, we have dockerized that, and we pushed that particular Docker image into AWS ECR Elastic Container Registry itself. And after that, you knew those steps, whatever the steps we have followed in my last session. As it is, if you follow, then you'll get it. So anyhow, I'll show you. Yeah, it gets pushed, but yeah, once it is done, come to here, just try to like what, refresh, and here go. So now you can observe this particular image. Right now in my previous attempt it was not there, but once the push is over, we can see that image in this particular ECR repository. So once it is done, what we have to do is we'll go to ECS, because we have to run this particular image by pulling this Docker image from the ECR itself. So that is why we have to go to the Elastic Container Services, where you can run the Docker images, run the Dockerized applications by using either EC2 instance or Fargate. Okay, by creating the cluster and all that stuff. Okay, let me click on the get started. It was asking, okay, sorry. Okay, in the ECS first, instead of before creating the cluster, we will create the task, create new task definition, here, Spring Boot Docker ECR, okay, example, any name you can give, simply example. Okay, and the container name is any name you can give, ECR Docker image. Okay, and the repository URL. What is the repository URL you have to give? We have already copied, right? What is that? This one. Let me copy this. Come to here only. Control V, that's it. Okay, this is the container name, and remove existing one, and I am just giving the container names like 8080 TCP, and add one more, that is something like 80. Okay, and all the remaining things are fine. Click on the next. Task roles, AWS Fargate is the launching type, and CPU task role is none. Monitoring and all these are default. Click on the next. Container 1. Okay, click on the create now. Yes, so task is getting created now. It gets active event status also if you observe. Now go to the clusters. Okay, and click on the create cluster, and cluster name is anything you can give. Java Jungle ECR demo. Okay, VPC is fine, the default one. So all the subnets I am removing, the first one only I am just taking, and here, all right, subnet is fine, infrastructure, EC2 instance, monitoring, these are all the optionals. Okay, click on the create. Once cluster is ready, inside the cluster we'll go to like what task, we'll assign the task to this particular cluster. So inside the cluster, n number of images, n number of tasks, where so those images we can assign, those Docker images we can assign. So that I will show you itself, because already we have created the task, and in that particular task already we configured that particular ECR URL where it contains the dockerized application, Docker image, it was there. Okay, so now that particular task we are assigning to this particular cluster. Don't get confused, we have already seen this kind of example in my previous video. The same steps I am following. Yeah, please wait for a few, I think it will take hardly 1 or 2 minutes. Once it's done, okay, cluster is created successfully. Just close this information, just click on this cluster name, and here so many options are there, like services, tasks, and then infrastructures, metrics, all these. Go to the task. Now no task we assign, so click on the run new task, and here launch type you please select. Launch type is Fargate only, it is not EC2, it is not external, it is Fargate only. And task only I am selecting. Family, Spring Boot, Docker, ECR example. In the networking, VPC, here also I am just closing all this stuff, only one. Create a new security group or existing security group, and we have so many security group, or else if you want to create a new security group, yes, you can create. Okay, ECR security credentials, security access, type all TCP, all traffic will give anywhere. One more rule, here I am giving all traffic. Okay, here also I am just choosing the source as anywhere. Yeah, everything is fine. Click on the create. So once we assign this particular task to this particular cluster, okay, if you observe, last status is provisioning. Once it started to run, we can observe that, we can take the public IP and we can try to understand whether it is working or not. We'll see. Now I am exposing this into port number 8080. 1 second, it is just changing the status from provisioning to pending. Once we get the status as running, we can cross check. Hold on, it will take some time for sure. Please try to follow the same steps so that you won't get any issues. I'll try to add this description, the same notes in the description. You please follow the same steps. It's not changing. Get started to running here. You please observe here. You please see here. Yeah, it got started to run. Just click on this so that you can take the public IP. Okay, click on open address. From here it is exposing to 8080, followed by, if you observe the application, what is the URL, tell me? I think it is get, right? Yeah, it is get. Let me come to here and followed by get itself, and see here. Now I am able to like what, see this application. I am able to see the response. So in this way we can dockerize the Spring Boot application, and we can push that Docker image to the Amazon ECR, and we can pull that ECR available dockerized image into AWS ECS, and by using AWS Fargate we can run it, and we can see the response like this. So I hope you understand how we can store the existing Docker images into AWS ECR, and how we can pull that into AWS ECS, and how we can run it by using AWS Fargate service. I hope you all understood. Okay, please try to follow the same steps. If any issues you are getting, you please feel free to post your questions in the comment section. Please like the video, share the video to the needy people, and subscribe my channel for upcoming videos. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Happy learning.